welcome to another episode of Warhammer 40,000. We're back on the Imperial base here, and James's Ultramarines have returned, and in this episode they will take on the Tyranid Horde. So blue versus red here on this Imperial base terrain. So you can see a larger bunker system here, a tall bastion just in the middle, and then various anti-aircraft defences here all around the table. A landing zone area large enough for a Thunderhawk gunship to land, be repaired and serviced, and then around here boxes and barrels and ammunition all across this battlefield perimeter fence as well. Imperial Space Marine statue, and then a gangway, a walkway across here as well, just to add some interest to this terrain. But it'll be here that the Ultramarines will do battle with the Tyranids. Alright, so welcome to this 1850 point game of Warhammer 40,000. Tyranids against Ultramarines, a classic one here, as the current Tyranid list takes on James's modified Ultramarines here, a nastier army. But we'll see how well they do against the Tyranid monster horde here. So standard force organisation for the Tyranids. Two HQs is the two winged hive tyrants, one of them with twin-linked devourers and brain leech worms. And then one of them with the electroshock grubs upgrade for him. That's the template haywire weapon. Then for troops, 30 gaunts here, and then we're able to take a Tervagon as a troop's choice. Then two elites is two venom ropes, just to provide some shrouding for the Tyranid army. A hive crone as well, fast attack. And then an exocrine, also that's heavy support. Two other heavy supports, a Trigon Prime, and then also a Morlock, 6 Raveners as well for fast attack, and then finally a Lictor Brood. That's 2 models in 1 brood just there. The Venom Ropes will be acting as independent units there. So that's the Tyranid list. Not as many smaller infantry units, but they can be bred there by the Tervagon, but plenty of monsters and flyers here could well cause trouble for the Ultramarines. Sort of a mid-performing army here, the Tyranids, looking to revamp them, but they've seen many a victory before, and they will relish the opportunity to feast on the flesh of Ultramarines. Alright, then just covering psychic powers here. So we have Paroxysm on here, which is the D3 reduction on a target unit's weapon skill and ballistic skill. Range 24, so it's pretty handy. Then the commander here for the Tyranids, he has Warp Blast, and then the Horror powers for him, and then across here the second in command, he has Onslaught, and then also Psychic Scream for him. Alright, so James's Ultramarines here are back fighting on the Imperial base. We'll let James run through here his list and see what he's got.
Right, this is my 1850 points of Ultramarines, which is a combined arms detachment. Once again, we have the chaplain with Terminator armour, Scipio II, who was slain in the last battle report. His Rights of War, which grants all Space Marines leadership 10, or the Ultramarines chapter, leadership 10 for the entire army. He has Primarch's Wrath and Auspex as his upgrades. He's accompanied with a unit of regular Terminators equipped with Stormbolters and Power Fists. The Sergeant has got a Power Sword, and one of the other Terminators has got a Chain Fist and a Cyclone Missile Launcher. Okay, my second Terminator squad. 4 of the Terminators are equipped with Thunderhammers and Storm Shields. And the leader is a Sergeant. He's equipped with a pair of Lightning Claws. My heavy support choice, I have a Predator Annihilator with twin-link las cannon and sponsored las cannons. And for my elite's choice, third elite's choice, I have an Ironclad Dreadnought. It is equipped with the Seismic Hammer with an inbuilt Melter Gun. I have a Power Fist with an inbuilt Heavy Flamer and 2 Hunter-Killer missiles. There are no fragmentation launchers for this Dreadnought because there's no point paying the points for them because they're Striker Initiative 1, close combat attacks. And deep striking in will be a Lucius Pattern Drop Pod, which can assault. on the turn it arrives, so there's no need to pay for dangerous terrain tests according to the new FAQ, because it has move through cover. Vehicles with move through cover, ignore the penalties for dangerous terrain tests. I have a unit of Assault Marines. The sergeant is a veteran sergeant. He's equipped with a pair of lightning claws, and one of the other Space Marines is equipped with a flamer, and the other Marine is equipped with a plasma pistol. So it's kind of like a fluffy organisation for that particular unit. So that's them. And for my troops choice, I have a tactical squad, lots of grav. So the Marine sergeant is equipped with a grav gun, combi grav, and I have a grav gun with this squad here. These are two combat squads, so you've got a combat squad here, combat squad there, and one of the other Marines is equipped with a grav gun, grav cannon, grav amp, and dedicated transport is this Rhino for them, and exactly the same loadout for tactical squad number 5. And slightly different for tactical squad number 6 is this sergeant here, who's got a grav pistol. He's a veteran sergeant, he's also got a power fist, and exactly the same loadout when it comes to support and heavy weapons for that squad, except for the dedicated transport this time is a drop pod coming in via deep strike or drop pod assault. So that is my 1850 points on the dot. Oh, beg your pardon. You've got melter bombs.
Okay.
He's got melter bombs. The chaplain's got melter bombs as well. So there you go. Ready to kick some Tyranid butt.
Well, ready to kick some Tyranid butt. At least that's the plan. We'll have to see. We'll go on to scenario and deployment here. Okay, so the scenario is Crusade. There's 3 objectives on the table. They're each worth 3 points each. There's one just there, pretty much in the middle ground there, about 24 inches in, but in the pit. And then here, there's one right in the open, and then there is one just on the mezzanine bridge just there. Tyranids will be deploying at this end of the table, 12 inches in. It's Dawn of War. This is a classic one here, Tyranid charge across the table, and then James's Ultramarines will be deploying 12 inches in at this end along here. So fighting for the objectives, although I'm sure both sides will be more interested in trying to destroy the other and then worry about the objectives later on in the game. So we'll go on to deployment now. Tyranids will deploy first, and they will get to go first here. They won the roll-off unless James seizes the initiative. Just to mention the battle mat that we're using for this game, it's called Imperial Base. It's one of the new battle mats that GameMat.eu have produced. So it's 6x4, it's made from this like mouse mat material. We've just got a flat gaming surface, a table here underneath. Just roll the mat out on top, and it's got that nice smooth finish to it. So you've got rubber underneath and another material on top with the design printed on just there. It's nice and quiet for dice rolling. There's no noise when you're rolling the dice. And then a safe gaming surface as well for lead and resin miniatures. If they fall over, are not going to get chipped and scraped on that surface. And you just lay out the mat, and then we just put the terrain on top, and then just some stones and scatter just to blend it all in. But you can check out that mat there. It's on GameMat.eu, along with all the other mats and gaming accessories they do as well. They do supply and ship all over the world with their products, so that's where the mat has come from. Alright, so deployment for the Tyranids here. They've set up first, and they'll go first unless James seizes the initiative. So Hive Crane on the left. Now, we've deployed these before we knew where James would go. So deploying on a wide front, just bearing the objectives in mind. There's one there, one just in the distance on top, and then one just here in the pit. So we've set up a flying wedge formation here. So 2 winged Hive Tyrants, Hive Commander here, second in command just there. Then Raveners with a Venom of Rope to grant them shrouding, and then an Exocrine has joined them as well. Then over here, taking advantage of this cover of the bunker, which will be a 4+ in this game, a Tervagon, a brood here of Gaunts, 30 of those, and then Venom of Rope with them, and then the Trigon Prime is just there. So there'll be a few reserves. Reserves for the Tyranids will be the Morlock, which will come in by a deep strike, and deep striking here as well with the Lictor Brood. So that's the Tyranid deployment then. In response to that, James has deployed here with his Ultramarines. Assault squad just here, hidden behind the bunker. Tactical squad parking here, and then right at the back, a Predator anchoring the right-hand flank, ready to lay down some firepower against the advancing Tyranids. So that is deployment done for the Ultramarines. We'll see if James wants to seize the initiative. There's no night fighting, by the way, at all in this game. Does James want to seize the initiative? He does. Okay, so a 6. He'll get to go first. Oh, he does. He does get a 6. I think he's happy enough with that. Tyranid's not prepared for that. We were ready to move out, but looks like the Ultramarines are going to get to go first. So, interesting twist here. We'll go on to the first turn of the game. Ultramarines will make the first move. Okay, so movement done here on turn 1 for the Ultramarines. Couple of surprises. First of all, Assault Terminators staying exactly where they are, so they're not going to move at all. James just waiting with them. He threw them away last time, I reckon. I reckon James is going to be more measured with his use of them here. Tactical squad's advancing, but here is the... I didn't see it coming. Drop pod coming down, disembarking. James did want to land there. Scattered 10, but he's been able to get out 6. He plans to try and take out the Hive commander just there before he goes into the air. That'd be a brilliant move if he kills him with first blood and slay the warlord as well. So it'd be a fantastic move if James can pull that off. Predator just here holding position. Nice good line. A good field of fire set up for him already. So that's movement done. Plenty of deep strikers and reserves for this Ultramarine army. So James, keeping his cards close to his chest, is going to reveal other units later on in the game. But for now, the ironclad Dreadnought has turned up and he means business. We'll go on to shooting phase next for the Ultramarines on turn 1. Okay, so we're just discussing what James is going to do. James is saying he needs to soften up this target or take it out with shooting. I'm saying I've got a Venom Throat within 6. James then says he's going to kill the Venom Throat first with that Predator in the corner. So we'll see if he can do that. I will be on a 3+ cover save for intervening models and then Shrouded, but it's doable. and James's strength 9 with toughness 4, so only takes 1 failed save. Okay. And the Venom Rope's dead, it's worth a go. Alright, so Twin Link Laser Cannon first of all. James will just roll both dice. Nice hit. And then Sponsons usually misses with 1, and he lives up to his reputation. 2s to wound. Oh, just the 1. Right. 1 or a 2, there'll be trouble. A 6, cover save pass, so no effect there from the Predator. Okay, so that's that resolved. Before James comes to this one, he's going to fire 2 haywire cannons. He's moved them, so they are within range 24. Firing out of their hatches. He's going to fire both together. Needs freeze, they've all hit. Good start. Any doctrines this turn?
Yeah, tactical doctrine.
Tactical doctrine, okay. So armor save is 3+, so freeze to wound, re-rolling grab imp. It's a horrendous roll. Thankfully he gets a re-roll, which is all better, all of them, right. So, it comes through as AP2. We get a cover save of 5+, there's nothing obscuring the exocrine here. 5. Okay, so 6 saves here of 5+, which we pass 2. 4 wounds taken on the exocrine here. That's pretty impressive, actually, from the Tactical Marines, just by the bridge over there. So, deadly blow there. Almost killing that thing, which is a shame for the Tyranids, but he is on 1 wound remaining. So, excellent display of grav weapon firepower there. Just seeing if James has any other shots. He'll probably have a bolter or 2 in range. Bolters, yeah. So, see if bolters can finish it off. So that will be 2 shots. Just firing both from the rhinos here. 2 hits and 6 to wound. He does get a 6. You know, if we get a 1 or a 2 here, no, 5 passed with our heavy armour there. Okay, so some Stormbolter firepower coming through. James trying to finish him off, but failed to wound. So it's all down to the Dreadnought now. He's going to try and target the Winged Hive Tyrant Commander. So we will jink the shots coming through. 4+ becomes a 2+ with the Venom Rope, aiding him with Shrouded. So Hunter Killers, 1 misses. So 10 points down the drain there of a miss. The other one does wound, and then a simple 2+. We do easily passed. Okay, some outer round coming through. Fast to wound and a 1. Frustrating here. He's getting annoyed at the very early stage of the game. Heavy flame up.
5s.
Doesn't wound. It will hit the exocrine here, so you can roll to wound that one. No. Okay. So that's all the shooting done. It'll have to be down to combat if James can make it in. So shooting phase done. It is charges now, so we'll let James roll up to see if he makes it in. Overwatch. Yes, Overwatch. Now we have a haywire template weapon, so it's D3 hits. Could be trouble if you roll a 5 or a 6. It's a 4. 2s, failed with 1, passed with the other. So a whole point taken as James comes in to the attack, but that's it. If he makes it, this is it. 2d6. I got a feeling he's going to fall short. He's had some bad dice rolls already. Oh no. 4 inches. I think he has fallen short. If only that drop pod hadn't have scattered. We'll check the range, but I think he is short here. Let's just get a tape measures coming in. 4 inches is there. No, he's short by about 2/3 of an inch. That's a shame. That would have been brilliant to decapitate the leader of the Tyranids right at the start, but it's not to be. Just short by almost an inch there. The Ironclad fails to make it into combat. So Ultramarines made the first moves. Pretty good though. Good result down here against the exocrine. Almost first blood for them. But a fouled charge there from the Ironclad Dreadnought means that combat will not go ahead. Just to mention, James rightly pointing out here, we jinked, so we couldn't do that Overwatch there with the haywire template. So the whole point will not go on to the Ironclad Dreadnought just there. But he could well be in trouble there as the Tyranids prepare to deal with that threat to their front. So end of turn 1. It should have been Tyranid turn 1. Ultramarine seized the initiative. They had an opportunity there but failed. We'll see how the Tyranids react now as we go on to their first turn coming up next. Alright, so moving for the Tyranids here. Going to hold in this sector. That's the shrouding and the bunker protection there. I'm just going to wait to see what the Ultramarines do. They've still got other reserves to arrive, so I'll watch and see what happens. Moving out here in open grounds, not ideal place to be. Venom Throat moving forwards, Exocrine moving forwards as well. Raveners surging ahead, 12 inches as well. Then the Winged Hive Tyrant Commanders moved out about 18 inches. Hive Crone turning and moving across. Did Vector Strike the Dreadnought here, but no damage done. Didn't roll high enough to get through the armour. But then turning with the second in command, he's flown up all the way across just there. So on to Psychic Phase next for the Tyranids on their first turn. Okay, so Psychic Phase here. Bit annoying. We wanted to do Warp Blast here, but jinked, so it wouldn't have been worth it. So sort of saving our psychic powers here. Just Onslaught granted to the Exocrine here, who'll be able to run and then shoot in the shooting phase. But other than that, that's all the psychic powers that are manifested. Some of them out of range to use as well. So we'll go on to shooting phase next for the Tyranids on their turn 1. Okay, so we're going to try and blow the back end out of this Dreadnought here with our Twin Link Devourers and Brain Leech Worms. So freeze to hit, twin linked, so almost perfection with the second Winged Hive Tyrant. Strength 6, 3 penetrating hits and glances. It is a wreck, it goes up in smoke. So first blood scored here by the Tyranids. Excellent weaponry, that, the Twin Link Devourers and Brain Leech Worms. So he has been punished for failing to make it into combat. Okay, so shooting phase done here, not firing with any of these units, just happy to sit where we are, nothing in range. Then over here we did run 4 inches with the Exocrine, just from the onslaught result there in the psychic phase, and then shot through, as well as draw cannon hit and a penetration result there against the Rhino to become immobilised, and then 2 hull points there in total, but not enough this turn to crack it open. Raveners surging forwards, 5 inches rolled with them. Venom Throat moving 2 inches as well. So the Flying Wedge continues to press on its attack in the middle. It is risky, it's open ground here, but Venom Throat granting some cover save bonus. So shooting phase done. Not been too bad here for the Tyranids. They've picked up first blood and are closing ground pretty well against the Ultramarines. It'll be good to try and take on those 2 tactical squads just through there. So turn 1 finished for them. I'd say it's been a better turn 1 for the Tyranids, but still early stages yet in this game. We'll go on to the second turn next, see what the Ultramarines do, see what reserves arrive for them as well. Turn 2 coming up next for the Ultramarines. Alright, so movement phase just starting here for the Ultramarines. Another drop pod coming in of the tactical squad. James already declared he's going to go into combat squads with those units. So nice surprises that James is able to pull out with this Space Marine army. So that is an improvement for him. They're not predictable. James can appear all over the table with different units, which is good. And I do particularly like the drop pods painted up here for the Ultramarines. They do look really nice. Nice contrast here against the red aggressive colours of this Tyranid army. So it's more of a stationary defensive block here for the Tyranids that's breeding gaunts as quick as the big mama down here can. And then here James needs to deal with this attack, blunt it, halt it and stop it as much as he can. If he's successful, then he can begin to converge on the more static Tyranid defence block over there. So it's difficult though. Tyranid flyers are a pain and a nightmare. James is not a big fan of them. He knows how hard they can be to get rid of, and they've taken to the skies here as well, which is going to make it even more difficult to eradicate them. But heavy grav weaponry here. His tactical squads are well kitted out. Probably the best configuration we've seen for the 3 tactical squads that he uses so far. So armed to the teeth here as they try and take on the Tyranids. He's just positioning his combat squads here, getting them into good effective positions. Alright, he's going to try and eliminate some targets. I think the Tyranids could well be in a spot of trouble here. Alright, so movement finished here. Combat squad just here with the grav guns, grav cannon, and then grav gun, combo grav combat squad just there. Then around the other side, I think the tactical squads remain stationary, just so that James can get maximum firepower from his heavy grav guns just in there, or grav cannons. And then again, holding position here with the Predator Annihilator. Nice fields of fire dead ahead. Then over here, James was mentioning, he's activated Devastator Doctrine this turn, and then the Assault Marines have moved out in this direction here, moving on to the bunker. No damage taken from dangerous terrain tests. No, okay. Terminators, both squads failed to turn up this turn for normal reserve rolls. James rolling 1s and 2s for them, so they will come on another time. We'll go on to shooting phase next for the Ultramarines on their second turn. Right, so James is going to try and take out the Venom Thrope here, who's more in the open this time. We get some cover save, but not as good. So Twin Las Cannon on top, James hits, and then the 2 sponsors, one of which will miss. Yep. Oh. So 2 hits, 2s to wound. He needs both of these to wound, which he does. Right, so we get a fence there, which is 6+, and then shrouding on top, 4+. Oh, we do! A 4 and a 6. Good roll there from the Venom Thrope. He's stayed alive, so he'll continue to grant shrouding to the units that are nearby. James has decisions to make now. Needs to get rid of this. Which one does he go for? He probably will still want to destroy this thing here, but he will choose now what he's going to go for. Alright, so James is going to try and kill the Venom Thrope here first of all, just to negate any kind of cover that this thing may get with the combat squad firing through against it. So it's all about doing things in the right order. See if the Venom Thrope can survive. Okay, so combat squad firing here. Grav gun. First of all, this could... 2 shots.
It moved, so 2 shots.
James rolled up there. He's got 1 hit and a 1 miss, but Devastator Doctrine, reroll the 1. He has got his 2 hits.
5s to wound.
5s to wound, yeah, not so effective. He does get 1, and it's AP2, so a wound comes through unless we roll. A 4's not good enough. Shrouding is 5+. So James happy, a wound taken there. 1 more wound to go. A grav pistol.
That's going to throw a crack grenade.
Okay.
In range of 8. Which it is.
Okay, yeah, crack grenade would be more effective. So 3's to hit with that. A 2, no. So now we're down to bolters. 6 shots to try and take this thing out. Faith in the bolter, brother. Now, save for the Emperor before you roll the dice. Makes a big difference.
For the Emperor!
Okay, so it should work well now. Here it comes. Wow! Wow. 6 out of 6 hits.
Hello.
Now, we'll keep this going here. For the Emperor to wound.
For the Emperor, for the Sons of Ultramar.
Whoa!
That's three wounds because toughness 4 and that.
Yeah, 3 wounds. Okay, AP 5. So just 5 up cover. For the Hive Commander. 2 ones, no. The Venomthrope's gone. So mission accomplished for them. They can radio in. They've taken out their target just there. And they can signal to their battle brothers to now unleash havoc against this Exocrine. Okay, Grave Cannon, 3 shots. This is it. Try and take out the Exocrine. And he can begin to remove some key Tyranid units. Right, this is getting a bit overzealous here with his chanting.
Reroll 1s, so devastating Ultramarine.
His dice rolls are better at the moment. Oh, a 6 is good. Right, so now he wants 3s and rerolls. This is good. Can reroll at 2? No, okay, 2. Do you get 5 up cover save for the obscured target? But nope. Exocrine is gone as well. It's another mission accomplished. A large monstrous creature for the Tyranids comes crashing down. So ambushed from behind here by an Ultramarine tactical squad has resulted in an Exocrine and Venomthrope being killed. Okay, so shooting continuing on here, and the Raveners have been targeted. Wound picked up from Stormbolt from the drop pod, and then a 2 bases killed here. This was Grav weaponry coming through, and Stormbolters as well on top, bringing down 2 more and a wound on another. We're okay, we're in Synapse range, but causing wounds and damage there against the Raveners. So pretty good. Ultramarines sandwiching the Tyranid attack here, and the ground forces, units that are on the ground, suffering heavily in this round. I reckon that has put the Ultramarines ahead here to some degree. Their shooting's done. Any assaults? No. Alright, so we're going to hand over to the Tyranids. They've got a chance to try and gain the upper hand, which I think they could do on this next round. We'll go on to their second turn next. So we're on Tyranid's second turn here. Haven't moved any of the models, just discussing the game. James, his army pretty well equipped for taking on the ground targets for the Tyranids, as we've seen here. But still, the flying monstrous creatures are a real bane and problem for the Ultramarines to deal with. They don't really have any anti-aircraft capability here. James is in desperate need of flyers. I'm saying a Storm Raven, a couple of Storm Talons would do his army. Give them a great deal of help, and would look very nice as well, painted up in the famous Ultramarines blue. But he does have the models, he's saying. They just need to be painted up. Maybe this battle, as this battle, alright, he's been magnetising them on his channel. You can check out those videos, but he needs to get them painted up here, and maybe a good sound defeat at the hands of these Tyranids here with their monstrous, flying monstrous creatures will give James an incentive to rearm his army. Okay, so movement phase here then, breeding another 13 gaunts just here. Not sure if I mentioned it on the last turn. We bred 8, no doubles rolled so far, so excellent breeding taking place here in this corner. And then haven't moved these 2, shrouded being granted to all these units, so quite comfortable here as we flood the table with gaunts. See, it's just about nesting somewhere quiet and peaceful, and they do breed much more than in a noisy and disruptive environment. Don't react well to stress. So if it's a calm environment, then lots of gaunts can be bred there by the Tervigon. So then coming around here, just attacking the Ultramarine combat squads, the tactical Marines, so really focusing in on them. Raveners moving across, they're going to try and go after this combat squad here. And then we tried to land on top with the Morlock, but failed. We scattered from deep strike and landed just there, not affecting anybody. Then across here, Hivecrone has gone into regular mode, so not flying, has jumped over 12. Not flying with the winged commander, he's jumped over 12. And then turning from over there, 24, still flying here with a second in command just there. So movement phase done for the Tyranids. Lictors haven't turned up yet. We'll go on to the psychic phase for them next. Okay, so psychic phase done. The only power that we manifest was Warp Blast. We used the Strength 10 AP1 shot, which hit. That was fired from the rear end of the commander here. For the Tyranids, firing through, hitting the rear end of the Rhino, the shot blasting through and then detonating that. No pinning for either of those combat squads. One regular Marine was killed, but that transport has been detonated there by the warp blast cyclic power. So cyclic phase finished. We'll go on to shooting phase next for the Tyranids on their second turn. Alright, so shooting phase here. We were going to fire down here with the second in command of the Twin Link Devourers and Brain Leech Worms. We are in range just here, and we will clip side armour on this Predator. Front angle is across this way, so we are here. Alright, so Predator destroyed here. James saying he reckons that unit's going out of his army. It's just a bit of a... I said it in the last game as well, a bit of a victim here. But you learn these things as you go along, for sure. So that's him done. We've got drawl cannons and haywire cannons to blast out of these flying monstrous creatures as well. We'll roll up results with them as we press on with the shooting here. Okay, so rest of the shooting done here. Combat squads taking damage. There's 2 Marines and the Grav Cannon alive, and then a Sergeant and Grav Gun alive just there. They've all passed their morale. So shooting phase finished. A draw cannon hit as well, but failed to penetrate the back end of the Rhino. That was as we clipped across to fire at the combat squads just under the bridge just there. So shooting phase finished. Still a Rhino with a full 10 Marines inside and those combat squads. So James still pretty strong despite all that Tyranid shooting coming their way. Then down here we're going to go into assaults now. Ravenous preparing to charge into the combat squad just there. So assaults coming up next. Yeah, so combats then, that goes ahead. We did lose a number of wounds, 3 wounds in total, 4 wounds actually, coming through. So a whole base gone and an extra wound, or 2 wounds put on this model here. So good shooting there on Overwatch from the Marines, but they have been contacted by 3 of the Raveners. Right, so combat, so we will get to go first at initiative 5. 15 attacks, so 5 attacks each on the charge, and they will, wow. God. I rate this unit.
I rate your dice.
6s would be good. 6s 2. Okay. So 2 6s and then 5 saves of 3+. Not bad. A bigger unit of those would be really good. And James rolling up. Saved all of them. Good rolling there with power armour. 2 Marines brought down. James can fight back with 3 attacks. He only needs to cause 1 wound. Another base from the Raveners will be gone.
No wounds.
No wounds at all. Alright, so we win the combat by 2. So leadership drops to 8. Yeah.
7.
7, that's good, right. So the Marines hold there in combat against the Raveners. The melee will continue on. Alright, so melee continues here. Not sure if James is happy with that. He probably would like to have shot the Raveners, but that melee will continue. We'll go on to the third turn now for the Ultramarines. Game's not slipping away from them. It's pretty much equals here at the moment. James still plenty of tactical Marines on the table. And remember, still has 2 full-strength units of Terminators to arrive somewhere. We'll see if they turn up this turn. Flyers harassing the Ultramarine line at the moment. Space Marine tactical squads fighting for all their worth. Tyranids in this corner happy to hunker down and use cover to their advantage. We'll see where James decides to send in his reserves if indeed they do turn up on this third turn coming up. Okay, so movement with the Ultramarines here on their third turn. It's the mid-stage of the game. Still plenty of fight left in both the armies here. So, remaining stationary with this tactical squad, they'll fire the heavy grav cannon out of the hatch, along with another weapon. Combat squad staying still as well. Just with the grav weaponry, James has an incentive to remain stationary just to get the maximum firepower from them. Then here, again, remaining stationary with this combat squad, they may as well just fire at whatever is nearby. And then help has come in the form of the Assault Marines moving across swiftly, 12 inches passing dangerous terrain with them. They will move in and try and rescue their battle brothers who are fighting against the Raveners just down here. So half the Tyranid army idle here at the back, just hunkering down. So therefore, we have a fight taking place between these units here. Tactical Marines almost exclusively being used, and now Assault Marines joining in to try and aid them against the terrorising Tyranid flyers. So James just saying he stood still?
Yes.
And the others have moved around just to grant him maximum shooting. Alright, so we're going to shooting phase now for the Ultramarines on turn 3. Okay, so shooting phase here. James diverting all of his attention against the Morlocks. That was this combat squad down here. The squad with the grav cannon underneath, and then also from the Rhino did finish it off. No cover saves there. So Morlock destroyed. It's done nothing this game. Scattered from its target, and then was caught out in the open by grav weaponry. So well done to those combat squads. And then 3 wounds dealt out here. That was grav gun and combi grav firing through. We jinked, but a 222 rolled there on our cover saves, so 3 wounds taken. And that's the Winged Hive Commander, so that's the Warlord almost slain just there. He did jink, so 6s to hit, or not be able to fire his template weapon next turn. So almost lost the Commander. Not too bad for shooting. Hive Crone and a second in command have not been touched this turn. We'll go on to Assault phase next. Assault Marines, James wants to get those desperately into combat. We'll just let him roll up his charge distance. He's going through cover. He's scared to roll it up. He will be -2. He doesn't want a terrible roll. 5. Oh, we're going to have to check this. The question is he 3 inches between that base and the Ravener? The answer is no, he is not. He's 3.5 inches away. So he did use his jump packs to jump. So we don't think, we'll check the rules here, we'll just see if he can possibly reach in combat. Yeah, just checking the rules, there's a fouled charge here, so the Assault Marines, much to James's frustration, again he's fouled to reach into combat here. Have you managed to charge anything this game? No. Just leave it to us, let the Tyranids do the charging, and then you could just do the fighting. But we'll go on to combats, just this continuing melee here with the Raveners against the 3 remaining members of the combat squad. Okay, so 12 attacks. In freeze, weapon skill 5, and then 6s are good. We get none. We get 3 wounds. So James will need to make 3 saves of 3+. Now he'll blow his top if he rolls poorly here, and he's lost 1 Marine. Okay, not so bad. James can fight back with 2 attacks. He needs to. He's got 1 hit on a 5 and a wound on a 4, which we pass on a 5. So the armour holding there. James can roll up morale, which will be leadership 9, and then that melee should carry on. The Raveners will be happy with that. James passing on a 7. Alright, so melee continues on. That marks the end of the 3rd turn for the Ultramarines. Frustrating for James, his reserves not turning up. Assault Marines looked like they would come to the aid of the tactical Marines down there, but they failed to reach into combat. So frustration here for the Ultramarines. Tyranids will continue their attacks and harass this Ultramarine force. We'll go on to their 3rd turn. Okay, so Tyranid movement here. She continues to breed so well, and no doubles rolled. So we really are forming a gaunt farm here. There's so many of these on the table. So many. So another 11 here. So what we've done is we've shifted out with the larger original gaunt unit here. This way. Might as well send some off into the war. Unit of 8's there. This unit here, and then now 11 just there. And again, holding ground. Just a slight manoeuvring going on, but shrouded being granted to all of these units, even this one here. So Tyranid's very comfortable in this corner. Just waiting for the right time to move out onto that objective just there. whilst we're waiting, we're sending out some reinforcements to go off in this direction. Winged Hive Tyrants turned and then headed off this way. Melee continues just there. Then around the other side, the Winged Hive Commander has left the table. He was on Jink and only 1 wound remaining, so we're trying to keep him safe. Lictors, before this base move, they turned up just there, arriving from reserve by Deep Strike, and then the Hive Crone just manoeuvring and then waiting to see what target is best to shoot at and possibly to charge as well. So we'll go on to Psychic Phase next for the Tyranids on their third turn. Okay, so Psychic Phase finished, Psychic Scream went off. James's high morale value there, leadership of 10, meant the damage wasn't too bad. The Nova Power Psychic Scream went off. 1 Assault Marine kill, we rolled an 11 in total, includes a +2 on the power. Then down here, it could have damaged here but didn't roll high enough to take out those Marines locked in combat. Tried to cast Paroxysm, were in range 24, that was coming from the Turvagon. James would have lost D3 weapon skill, ballistic skill, but James blocked that power on a 6. We only got that power successful on 1. 4+, James blocked it with a 6. So Psychic Phase finished, not too bad. We'll go on to Shooting Phase next for the Tyranids on their third turn. Okay, so Shooting Phase, going to try and hose down those Marines there. Freeze to hit. Reroll for Twin Linked. Perfection. It happens sometimes. 2s to wound. 111. But still we won't complain. We'll ask James to make 9 saves, power armor saves with those Assault Marines. Odds are he's going to lose about 3 of them. But knowing James, he may lose more. We'll see. It's a test here. Is James governed by the law of averages, or is he just a bad dice roller? Roll here. See what you get. So...
2, 3.
3. No, he's alright. No, that's exactly bang on average. 3 Marines killed just there. Nothing to complain about. Okay. Not too bad there. But excellent shooting from this Winged Hive Tyrant. Pretty good. So, we'll carry on with the rest of the shooting here for the Tyranids. Okay, so rest of the shooting phase here. Gaunts firing through killed a Space Marine with a grav gun, much to James's frustration. Then around here, actually you can see it from this side. You have to laugh here, James. Firing down here with the Drawl Cannon, save past this combat score, but a triple fail here. A 1, 2 1s and a 2. Here, so that combat squad's gone. It means we won't be able to charge them, so the Hive Crown have to stay as it is. Then we tried to crack open the back of the Rhino with the Assault 2 shots that you get with the Lictors, and failed to do any damage, so they're now caught out in the open. So it's not looking good for the Ultramarines visually, but there are 10 Marines still inside here, and James still has a fair chunk of his Assault Marines. You need to do morale for them, actually.
Yeah, leadership.
Yeah, leadership 10. Right, so you're good. You're good at rolling low dice, so you shouldn't roll 7. All right, they're okay. But James still has these Terminators to turn up and the Army Commander, so 10 Terminators still to play a part in this game, which will arrive automatically next turn because we are going into turn 4. We'll get this combat resolved just here. No charges could take place over there, so just that combat to do against the Raveners. Alright, so freeze to hit here with the Raveners. Do rate this unit. I can imagine a larger brood of them causing a lot of trouble. 6s, there's a rend, and then 3 more saves to make. It could be the end of the last Marine.
Oh no, it's arrived.
James is held. That's good for the Tyranids. That means that the Raveners are safe, locked in combat, unless James runs. So let James do morale. Leadership 9.
Yay!
He's cheering here. He runs. So we'll see if we catch you in initiative 5. Roll a 4. James rolls a 4, so we do catch him. The melee will continue there. James's desire was to pull out of combat, but the Raveners too quick for the Marines just there with their high initiative. So James will just swing that model around. Okay, so turn finished. It's an ongoing combat there. Raveners given a good account of themselves against the Marines and should be safe on James's turn, still being locked in combat, so that's gone well for them. But that's the end of the third turn for the Tyranids. What can James do? He's got 2 units of Terminators that will turn up. Where will they land? And what will they do? We'll have to see. He needs to remedy the situation here, or he could lose control of the game. So we'll go on to the 4th turn next for the Ultramarines. Okay, so moving for the Ultramarines here, and James deep striking in here with the Assault Terminators. They've landed just there. He wanted to land there, but they've scattered towards the Tyranid horde. So unaware of their arrival, the large Tyranid breeding farm doesn't know that there are Terminators landing just the other side. So that's James's deep striking Assault Terminators. Then shifting across to the left here with this combat squad, moving through, not using their jump packs this time, just moving on foot against the Raveners with the Assault Marines. Then what's left of this combat squad has gone upstairs, moving up a level. Then here, again, holding position and not moving with this tactical squad. And then here, James wanting to land just there with the regular Terminators. They've shifted across, landing just there by deep strike. So movement phase done. Terminators at either end of the table now. We'll go on to shooting phase now, see how effective they can be. James is going to try and eliminate the lictors and then try and damage this Hive Crone as well. If he can eliminate those two, then he's freed up a zone here of strength, and then perhaps to move out onto the objectives later on. One here and one just here. If James can play for 2 objectives at least, then he stands every chance of actually winning the game. So we'll go on to his shooting phase next. So we'll see if James can take out these lictors. We're not going to get cover here, it's not obscured enough, so we're just going to get stealth. So 6+. Here, James just firing the Emperor's Wrath, rightly titled piece of weaponry. Shred. So, yep. 2, okay. So, a couple of saves to make. Roll James's dice for insult, nothing. Okay, then Storm Bolters, 10 shots with them. Alright, so James is feeling a bit happier now that Terminators are on the board. He's calmed down. He's calmed down a bit. He says it was a bit hard going with just tactical Marines trying to cope with the Tyranids. Now the Terminators have arrived and they're lending some assistance here. So Chaplain Scipio II helping out. So forced to wound 2 more. Roll up some saves here. We foul those. So 1 lictor down and a wound taken. See if James can finish this wounded lictor off with the Cyclone Missile Launcher. Gets 1 hit. It'd be 2s for a wound.
I roll 1.
He senses a roll of 1.
2.
It's a 2, just about. And we'll roll up a save here of 6+. Oh, it's a cocked dice, to be fair. A 2. No, okay. So the lictor is dead. Mission accomplished there from the Terminators. Well done to them. That's 1 less Tyranid threat on the table. So now, James's combat squads, their attention can be diverted against the Hive Crone. Alright, so James is going to shoot here against the Hive Crone. We will jink with this one. So this is Grav Gun. Firing through, double 1. It's a miss. So then we'll go on to Crack Grenade. Yep, that's an appropriate weapon here against the armor value of 4, the Hive Crone. Okay, so freeze to hit if you can. Just about on the 3. Freeze to wound? No. Alright, so that's that squad fired. James still has a full squad in here. Well, he can just fire the Grav Cannon and another weapon as well. So yeah, remain stationary, so you can fire at full effect. 3 hits. Forced to wound this time with our armor value of a 4+. Then rerolls here for Grav Amp 2. We jinked. We pass both. Hive Crone's going to be hard to get rid of. We'll mark him for 6 just to show that he's jinked. And then the other weapon, Grav Gun, I think, James is firing. And forced to wound 2. Saves here. 1 wound coming through. So a wound on the Hive Crone, 4 left to go. Okay, so shooting phase finished here. Bit of Tyranid cheese being used. James shaking his head. Pretty sure it's legal, but we'll clarify that in a moment. So Storm Bolter firing down at the gaunts, and this squad, bolters at long range and a Grav pistol. James caused 4 casualties in total, but we saved 3 of them with shrouding. Now, I'm pretty sure this is how the rules work. a number of models from this unit are granted shrouded by the Venomthrope, and the rules say for shrouded in the rulebook, if at least one model in a unit has that rule, then the whole unit gets shrouded. So these couple of models are in range, they're granting shrouding to the entire unit, including these ones at the front. So save 3 of them, just 1 casualty caused. So that Venomthrope granting its bonus across this entire mass of Tyranids. James running through underneath here, 4 inches they've tucked away and disappeared. Tyranids may have to climb up and go after them, or may wait for James to come up over the top if he dares. So, shooting phase finished. We'll go on to assaults next. James has one potentially here with the Assault Marines, and we reckon that is actually about it. So we'll roll them up. James, you can roll. Double 1, you fail. No, 7. They're in. So we'll move the Assault Marines in to try and rescue the Tactical Marine just there. Right, so assault phase finished. The Raveners did kill the last Tactical Marine, so that Grav Cannon's gone. They killed an Assault Marine as well, but in return, James has brought them down to just 1 remaining just there. We're okay, we're in Synapse range, but that Ravener unit, just the 1 model left, so damaged heavily now. So, combat's finished, turn finished. We're going to go on to the Tyranid 4th turn. Still, we reckon the game momentum is with them. Can they push further ahead here? There's now Terminators on the board to deal with. 1 unit very close to the Tyranid corner over here, and then another unit way off in this corner that stands ready to begin moving out onto this objective here, or this objective up there. So we'll go on to Tyranid turn 4 next. Alright, so Tyranid turn 4, more breeding taking place here with these gaunts. Starting to run out of models here. It's looking like an apocalypse game. There is literally, there must be almost pushing on about 80 or so on the table now. So another 14 have been bred. Remember, only 1 of them has been killed so far. So the first unit, the original unit of 30, is strung all the way out here, moving across. They're kept in Synapse range here with the Trigon Prime. They're out of range of shrouding now. The other unit has moved across. It's the 3rd unit, 4th unit, and then now breeding unit 14 just here. Remember, Terminators are just inside there. Winged Hive Tyrant, the commander's come on, flying on from reserve this way. He'll be able to fire his Haywire template weapon in that direction to try and soften up the Terminators. Just providing a screen here. I don't think I'm going to charge this turn. This unit won't be allowed to charge. They've just been bred. Others can't see the target. So we're just trying to provide a screen here. The Terminators will have to try and fight their way through. And then as we head off in this direction as well with these. Then gone to no longer flying with this one. He's heading in this direction, ready to use his psychic powers and shooting against those combat squads. And then the Hive Crone has gone to here, ready to fire, trying to soften up the Terminators just there. So we'll go on to the Psychic phase next to the Tyranids. Psychic Scream is a potential power we could use just there. We'll see if we can get that power to go off on this turn. So Psychic phase next to the Tyranids on turn 4. Alright, so Psychic phase done. Nova power there, Psychic Scream. It went off, but not rolling high enough. James's leadership 10 helping out once again. And then across here, Paroxysm we cast. James blocked it on the Terminators. So Psychic phase ineffective this turn. We'll see how effective the shooting phase can be on Tyranid turn 4. Right, so shooting phase done. 1 Terminator killed in the bunker there. That was fire from the Winged Hive Tyrant and his template weapon. Then we blasted the Marines off the top just there with our 12 shots from the Twin Link Devourers and Brain Leech Worms. Not a nice way to go. Then around here, another Terminator was dropped. That was fire from the Drawl Cannon just there. James failing a 2+ save. So shooting phase finishes. Tyranids picking away at the Ultramarines here. Not able to engage fully with all of the army. More pressure on the Ultramarines over on this side of the table. We've gone to assault phase. Yes, we could charge these gaunts in actually. Yes, okay, well maybe we'll try and charge them in to try and lock that combat squad down. So we'll go on to... No, I'm not sure if we'll charge. I'm not sure about that. Or maybe leave it for now. Yes, have a little cunning plan with those. We'll think about it. We'll see what we're going to do in the assault phase coming up next. Alright, so assault phase we did decide to go in the end. No damage from Overwatch. All those gaunts have rolled up 9 inches, so piling in nice and quick. So just trying to overwhelm James here, and then the idea is to push on later on. So that assault goes ahead. The lone Ravener still locked in combat just there. No charges down here. These can't see their target. Those aren't allowed to charge on the turn that they're bred. So we'll go on to assaults, combats next here on turn 4 for the Tyranids. Alright, so combat resolved here. 3 of the Space Marines killed, and then just the lone sergeant left, and then just consolidating in on top. Just piled a few of the models just on top there, just to show you the cinematics of what's taking place. The lone sergeant there, he did crush one there with his power fist, but still 28 of them have surrounded him and are closing in for the kill. What a way to go. But there's the lone sergeant making his final stand just there. What an inspiration perhaps for a great oil painting in memory of this sergeant. No name, but he'll be remembered for the stand he took. He'll be remembered for the stand he took here against the Tyranid filth. Then just the rest of the combats here. The Ravener took out a Marine and then took a wound in return. So that melee actually continues. So well done to the Ravener again for holding up the Space Marines just there. But epic stuff here in the middle. Space Marines being overwhelmed by the advancing Tyranids. So that marks the end of the turn there for the Tyranids. We're going to go on to the 5th, possibly final turn now for the Ultramarines. Things looking difficult for them. We're flying here, so... Oh no, we're not actually flying, because we are actually holding this objective at the moment. This one here's left in the open, although the way isn't entirely clear for James's units. James still some distance away with the Terminators just over there. And then here, objective almost secured by the Tyranids just here, but there is a unit of Thunderhammer Terminators ready to strike. What will James decide to do in this situation? There's so many of them, and hard to reach the source of the problem, the Turvigon. Don't think he can reach it in combat this turn. So we'll go on to the 5th turn now for the Ultramarines. Alright, so Ultramarines here. Difficult situation for them. So many gaunts on this side of the table. So we reckon this objective is lost. There's not much James can do about that. Terminators have gone 6. They've come out and gone up a long 3 here. James reckons he can charge this unit, and then spare models are going to swing around and try and take on this monstrous creature here. That's about the best move he can do. And then across here, melee continues here with the Raveners and the Assault Marines. And then melee here with the Doomed Sergeant. And then James has moved out to here, securing this objective. So there is a Rhino and 2 combat squads on that now, so they'll be hard to get rid of. And then across here, Terminators are on the move. They're some distance away, but they're making their manoeuvres now, heading off towards this objective. And we'll try and lay down some firepower against the second in command, Winged Hive Tyrant. So no psychic phase, onto shooting phase next for the Ultramarines on turn 5. Right, so shooting phase done. Stormbolter here, firing across, up at the gaunts, no damage. Very significant turn of events though. Terminators firing through, that's the Terminators. Then the crack missiles there on the Typhoon missile launcher, and the Emperors are off, firing through as well. And then 2 wounds being dealt out also from the Grav weaponry from the tactical squad. Failing a number of Jinx saves, the second in command has been killed. Now that is significant here. That gives James a glimmer of hope in this game. If he can secure 2 objectives, he will win the game for sure. So it's all about these 2 objectives here. He's holding one. The other one's open now. It's not being held by the Winged Hive Tyrant. It does have an assault squad here. It should survive. Just gaunts here, who are now out of Synapse range. And then just this Hive Crone to deal with. So hope has... The flicker of hope here. The flame of hope has been ignited here for the Ultramarines. They'll press on. They need to dig in their heels, hold their ground, and keep fighting on, not give up at this stage. We'll go on to assaults next for the Ultramarines on their 5th turn. Okay, so combats go ahead. James rolling not far enough to reach this, but he will reach this squad here of 8. No damage from Overwatch. Did get 2 wounds, but James passed them, and then the melees continue just down here. So we'll get these combats resolved and then see what the situation looks like after these combats are done. Alright, so combat's all resolved here. James wiping out the Gaunt squad just there. Still loads of them left. James then rolled a 5, reforming and pulling back just there. Then 1 wound dealt out on the Ravener. We killed a Marine in return, so that's a draw melee. And then Gaunt's here killing the Sergeant, overwhelming him just there. So after feasting on his flesh just for a short while, they've consolidated 2 inches. So marks the end of the turn. That's pretty much as predicted. Ravener did well to hold there, although he's just got 1 wound remaining. James may well kill him on the next round of combat. And then Terminator's here fighting a lost cause over in this corner. Game's still on. We'll go on to Tyranid turn 5 next. Right, so Tyranid movement here on turn 5. Closing in on the Terminators, so Venom Throat moving over a few inches. This unit here just going to stay where they are. Then moving across a few more inches here and then breeding down 6 inches there with a fresh unit of Gaunts. And again, no doubles rolled. A fresh unit of 8 of them. There's actually 9 there, so it should be 8 just there. Still no doubles, so I reckon we've bred about 60 in this game. This is a unit there. They're moving across 5 inches, 6 inches move with these, so along 3 and up 3 with those, and then just shuffling 2 inches trying to reach or get into cover with the Trigon Prime. So just trying to take on the Terminators there, trying to lock them down in combat, keep them away from the objective. Should be quite comfortable on that one just over there. Then over here, this has turned into a separate battle by itself now. Melee continues just there, flying along 24 inches with the Winged Hive Tyrant, the commander. The Hive Crone's turned and gone over this way. We'll actually do a raking strike with him. So it's strength 8, penetrates the Rhino, and the result there is a 2, becomes a 3, but a hull point dealt out there on the Rhino just there. Alright, so that's that done. Just a hull point on there, a result of a 3. These were out of Synapse range. They failed their leadership test and lurk, seek cover. They don't have to go to cover, but they're not going to be able to shoot. Unless they're in cover, so they're not going to shoot this tent, and they're not allowed to assault either, so they're just waiting. They'll be alright next time. The Winged Hive Tyrants arrived to provide some Synapse cover just for them. They're just sort of stuck, not knowing what to do at the moment, until their leader has flown over. So we'll go on to the Psychic phase next for the Tyranids on turn 5. Alright, so Psychic phase here. Once again, Warp Blast has been pretty effective here. So fired the strength 10 shot in, got the hit, penetrating hit, and a detonation once again there from the commander. So using that power well. Rhino has been destroyed. So 1 Marine killed, none of them pinned. They have split off into their combat squads, but that is that Rhino taken out. So pretty good there. We also rolled up against the Terminators with Paroxysm. Their weapon skill and ballistic skill has been reduced down by 2. So that's Psychic phase finished. On to shooting next for the Tyranids on turn 5. Okay, so shooting phase done here. Gaunts firing through, Stinger Salvo from the Tervigon, and then also the Bioelectric Pulse shots, 12 of them coming through, all of them together. James failing 1 2+ save, so Terminators brought down just there, causing morale check, but they've passed no problem. And then across here, Draw Cannon firing out the rear end of the Hive Crone, taking out a couple of the Marines there as well. 2 from this squad. There was a combat squad here, so 3 of them left. Pass morale with them. Pass morale here, they lost a Marine as well. So shooting phase done. That's quite significant there, taking out that Rhino in the Psychic phase and then doing damage there in the shooting phase as well. It just makes things more difficult for the Ultramarines. We'll go on to assaults next here. Ongoing melee just down there, and then we'll see what units charge into the Terminators here. Right, so charges going ahead here. James can't do any Overwatch just with his combat weapons. So charging up here with this unit, they've made it in. This unit failed, rolling just a 4 and then less the cover. But we did make it in here with the Trigon Prime. So powerful unit there charging in against the Terminators, and just continuing melee down here. So we'll get these combats resolved now. Okay, so Sergeant with the Lightning Claws going to try and take out some Gaunts here. 3 attacks for him. He gets... Oh yes, he's on weapon skill 2 because of the psychic power crippling these Terminators here. But he has shredded one of them, so he's killed a Gaunt. Well done. We'll fight now. No, going through simultaneous. All right, so I'll roll up the rest here. Let James's Thunderhammers go. I think only one of them can fight the monster, the other's in base contact with these. So try and bash in 2 of them with your, I think just the one hit there. James struggling. Splat, okay. So 1 killed, and then he can do 2 attacks against the creature here. I need 4s of 2 hits, yep.
2, so 2, yep, 2 wounds.
2 wounds, well done. Okay, so 2 wounds against the Trigon Prime. Alright, so attacks here. 7 attacks on the charge of the Trigon Prime, needing freeze.
Weapon skill 2.
Yeah, and then 2. This AP2, wounds coming through, so James needs to make 2 saves of 3+ with his Storm Shields, see if they hold. One's failed, alright, one's been killed. Hammer of Wrath as well, actually. 2s to wound, yes. A save of 2+. Don't fail this. No, he's passed that one. Alright, so 1 Terminator brought down. See how well the Gaunts can do now as they attack. Okay, so 32 attacks. Needing freeze to hit this time against weapon skill 2. Absolute ton of hits. That's ridiculous. Humble Gaunts. And I think these were the free ones. Yeah, this was the unit that didn't cost anything in points, so to add even more insult to injury. It's a problem here though, struggling to pick up the dice. What a terrible shame. 5s to wound. It's a heap of 6s. This could spell the end of the Terminators. More wounds coming through, more wounds coming through. Look at all those 5s and 6s there. James needs to make 14 saves of 2+. Can he do it?
No.
That's a bit of a stretch. He doesn't think he can. I don't think he can, but he needs to keep one of these. If he keeps one alive, he'll hold here in combat on turn 5. Alright, so James just gathering the dice up here. 2 pluses. Can roll them under the bridge.
Remember Gilliman. Remember the Primarch. Remember this day. Oh!
I can see a 1. I can see another 1. 3 1s. Oh dear. Alright, not enough. Famous slogans are not enough to win wars, I'm afraid. they've been overcome. So they've been destroyed there. We'll consolidate with the Trigon Prime and the Gaunts, but it's a wipeout here on top of the bunker. Okay, and then onto the other melee here. Now this is extremely significant. We caused 2 wounds, but James passed power armor saves there with the Ravener, and then James diced him up there with the 2 lightning claws. Now, what's significant here? James warming up his hands with a dice. The most important dice rolls coming up. James has consolidated 6 inches. He counts as holding the objective, which means he's holding 2 objectives, ladies and gentlemen. That puts him on 6 points. He'll win if the game ends on a 1 or a 2. So he always looks to pass power armor saves on a 3+. This time around, he needs to fail a power armor save. I think he should roll it on Imperial Guard dice.
For Gilliman!
He's rolling it.
Oh!
He's rolled a 4. So the game will continue. That was an opportunity. A window of opportunity to win there. All he had to do was fail a power armor save and score a 1 or a 2, but he didn't. He rolled a 4. Now just roll one of those grey dice, one of those Imperial Guard useless dice. Right, so here it comes. We'll let him roll up here, see what he would have got if he had have rolled a rubbish Imperial Guard die. Oh, he got a 6. All right, fair enough. Okay, so we'll go on to the 6th turn for the Ultramarines. Now things get complicated. Things are not going to be easy for him. He's got to try and... He must try and secure that objective, but look at the situation. He's got flyers all over the place, which can descend out of the sky. But, having said all of that, 1 wound remaining on the Hive Commander here. I think that will be a priority. Both of these are flying at the moment, up in the sky. They'll not be contactable in close combat, so awkward situation here. But if he can kill the Hive Commander, Synapse is lost with these. That could help James out a great deal. We'll go on to the 6th turn now for the Ultramarines. Alright, so movement phase here. James, I'll come around the other side, actually, just to see what James is up to. So, holding position here with these, trying to max out his firepower, moving along with the Terminators, and then the Assault Squad moving up here. So, securing the objective. His snap fire shots, though, it's going to be tough, but he needs to take out the last wound on the Hive Commander. He'll pick up a point for it, and it will disrupt the Tyranid attack in this area, and could well secure victory for James. So, a tight finish here. It's going right to the wire. We fought the Ultramarines doing well at the start. Tyranids fought back well. James was about to concede but he pressed on. It's paid off here. He's put himself in a position potentially where he could rescue victory here. So for those of you that have stayed tuning in here and haven't switched off, you're seeing a potential comeback here from the Ultramarines, and James will be a happy boy if he can do it.
Ultramarine.
So, and there's nothing better than a happy Space Marine player. So we'll go on to shooting phase here. Go, do your worst. So he's going to start there. All right.
You're going to check.
So I will need to jink, I reckon. So I am going to jink. The dreaded 6s is what James needs. So grav cannon is what he's going to fire first. Or 1-6, James will be happy. He does get a 6. Oh, he does get a 6. Freeze to wound re-rolling. Should get this wound. Or gets a 1 or no. This is not going to be easy going here. Oh, he just about gets it right. 4+, otherwise we're dead. We could be dead at this stage already. 2, he's gone. He is gone. He is gone. Slay the Warlord. He's happy. He's happy here. Dear oh dear, we're losing the plot. At this point, we could see a rally of epic proportions here. So any potential authors start taking notes of this. This is an epic tale unfolding before us. The Hive Tyrant comes crashing down, taken out by grav weaponry here. James can have the honour of removing that model from play. And now, look at the state of play. So, the remaining units, James can hammer into them, or he can take out the Hive Chrome, which could cause trouble as well. You can see through the cover there, so you may want to go after the Crone. It's up to him. James reckons he's going to try and bust them around these. He needs to kill 6 at least. He's got the Terminators to do it. Alright, so Cyclone Missile Launcher is going to go over to frag rounds here to try and blow away his gaunts. He's got a hit with the first one. Oh, it's all going smoothly here for him. He's going to scatter 5 inches. I think he'll still clip some. Alright, so the other one scattered across to here. That's 8 hit in total. So, yeah, so freeze to kill. I'll just move around to the other side just to look. We are being granted cover here by the ruin just ahead. Freeze to kill. It'll bypass our armour. We'll get a 5+ cover save. 5 saves to make. 5 pluses. We do save 3, but 2 have been brought down, so the front 2 can go. Just from there. Still got Primarchs, Wrath and Stormbolters to fire. Yep. James needs to kill 4 more. He's going to fire some rounds here with no cover at all, just the ones onto the right there, yes, including the Primarchs, Wrath.
So this is Sergeant.
This is the Sergeant firing a Stormbolter. 2 wounds. Take 2 more off. So I think he's going to do it, 25%. Very good. Now the Primarch's Wrath. Feel the wrath of the Emperor, of the Primarch.
Master crafted.
He's got 3 hits.
4 hits.
4 hits. And these are on Shred.
AP4.
AP4, pretty good.
Shred. Strength 4, toughness 3. Oh, 4 wounds.
4 wounds. 4 more gaunts killed. Okay, so good. There's the casualties so far. 2 more shots to come through. We'll get cover for these at 5+. Gets 2 hits. He gets 2 wounds. We save 1. So another gaunt killed. That'll be that one. Just there. So pretty good. Flaming out. Freeze to hit. Oh, freeze to kill. 2 of them. One there. And then a pistol. Plasma pistol.
Plasma pistol gets hot.
Does get hot. Oh, no.
Oh, he's okay.
He's okay. And then to wound. Oh, it doesn't. No, it doesn't hit. Okay.
No.
He can throw a crack grenade. He's in range, not in range. Okay. I think he'd struggle actually with those 2 lightning claws on his arms, or on his hands. Anyway. Alright, a bolt pistol shot coming through. And there's no save, there's no cover. So another one gone. That was from the Sergeant. So he's pretty much halved that squad in size. So fly here, not going to jink. James firing a grav gun up there, needing 6s.
Nope.
Nothing. A crack grenade can be thrown, needing a 6.
Nope.
And then 2 bolter shots, so rapid fire. It's just from the combat squad just here that hasn't shot at a target. So freeze to hit with them. Okay, so he's rolled up to hit here. 2 6s have come through. Good rolling. 5s to wound though, toughness 5, nothing. Okay, so Hive Crone's okay, didn't have to jink. So shooting phase finished. We'll do morale here. For the gaunts, which they pass on a 6, needing a 6, well done to them. They'll hold their ground, but they're in a sorry state and they're out of synapse range now as well. Okay, so end of turn. There's no assaults to take place here. Well, you could charge down, but I don't think James would want to do that. He'll want to hold the objective just there. So, turn finished. We'll go on to the Tyranid turn 6 now. They've got to think carefully of how they're going to try and remedy this situation. Right, so movement phase done here. We've turned around and gone into regular ground mode here with the Hive Crone. So getting ready to fire. Won't be able to charge this turn, but a nasty target there. Not counting as holding the objective, James's objective secured with his 2 combat squads. Then here, Gaunt's spinning this way. They passed Morale on a double 1 and headed off this way towards the objective just there. And they're moving around with the Dragon Prime. He's Synapse, so guiding all of these across. These moving along here, and then shifting 6 inches through cover along there with the Gaunts. Then breeding, moving forwards here, then breeding 4 more and rolling a double 1 and a 2. So she's finally finished her breeding here after all of these Gaunts being spawned throughout the game. Reckoned about 70 or so being bred in this game. So very impressive stuff. The best round, I think, from a Turvagon we've seen. Holding here with this one, Venom Throat just tucked to the back here as well. So not really much of a threat here from the Ultramarines in this area. So we'll go on to Psychic Phase next for the Tyranids on turn 6. Alright, so a Psychic Phase out of range 24 here of Paroxysms. That's it. We'll go on to shooting now. Right, so shooting phase finished. Just ran an inch of the Dragon Prime. These ones fired, just 1 shot across, no damage. And then here firing up, killed 2 of the Marines. And James passing morale, so still holding that objective with that Defiant Sergeant on top. Then down here, just 1 Marine lost from the dual cannon. Just here, passing morale and holding there. So combats now, really it's only the Gaunts that can make it in. So we will roll up some charge distance. I reckon it may well be too far for them. Roll it now, see what we get. An 8, we'll check it, but it may not be enough. Okay, so combats here, or charges who have made it in. 8 we needed, 8 we got, exactly. So, this is significant. We're now holding the objective as troops. Our morale is good at the moment, but if James kills enough of these, and our morale drops down, we're not in Synapse range, and James survives, that's the crucial part, then he could force the Gaunts to run, and it could win in the game. It's just going to go right down to the wire here. James needs to cause a casualty at least and then survive. So James goes first, 3 dice. This is one of the tensest ends to a game we've ever seen on the channel. So once again, James stands on the brink of victory or defeat. Come on, Sergeant, for the Emperor here. So freeze to hit.
Good start, 3 hits.
3 hits on a triple. No, 2 5s and a 2 3s and a 5. Shred now. Getting the hits was the crucial part. Freeze to wound, rerolls. He's done it with 2. He's done it with 3. Maxed out there with hits. So we'll take off 3 Gaunts. That reduces our attacks back as well. Power armor must hold here. 16 attacks here from 8 Gaunts. 4s to hit. Every miss helps. We're just a bit above average. 5s to wound at strength 3. Just the 1. Oh, James, you need 1 power armor save to hold your ground. Don't get a 1 or a 2. Oh dear. It's not fair. It's not fair. This is a tense stuff. It's gone off the table. We'll have to re-roll it.
Cut. Action. Yeah.
Oh, 4. A 4. He's done it. He's done it. He's held. Right now, the tension is put on the Tyranids. We've got to pass a morale check of 3. Oh, I thought we were going to do it. I thought we were going to do it. 5 is a fail. Just checking it's right here. We're out of Synapse. So leadership of 3, we've failed. Now comes the initiative roll.
I'm initiative 4.
We're initiative 4. A dice off. James is happy, but as a bonus point, our initiative, we've rolled a 1. Here's your chance. It's done it. You've done it, isn't it? Just roll the dice, but I'm sure you only have to equal it. You've rolled a 3. That's it. He wipes out the Gaunts here. The Sergeant standing on top here has wiped out the Gaunts. Unbelievable. Unbelievable stuff at the end here. So we'll remove those models from play and the Sergeant can consolidate and stand upon that objective with pride. So James defiantly standing on top of the objective here. Well done to him. This Sergeant is making Ultramarines great again. Now, James will need to roll a dice to see if the game continues. We'll hand the responsibility to him. 4+ will go into turn 7. He wants to foul this. Roll here. Oh dear, this is tense.
50.
Yeah, 2. He's done it. He's done it. Victory. Well done. Well done. Well done. Very good. So we've done it right here. The game will end at the end of turn 6. We'll calculate victory points here to get an exact score. So still in flight mode, I wouldn't be able to contest. Oh no, we're not. We are on the ground, but James is objective secured with his tactical marines, who are within 3 inches. Yeah, so they're within 3 inches, no problem just there. So 3 points. 3 points for this one, and well deserved. If ever 3 points are well deserved, scored up there. So that's 6. James got Slay the Warlord as well in epic style. So 7 points. So first blood went to the Tyranids. Yes, over here at the start of the game. Point for them. And
3 points.
3 points for holding the objective. Yes, of course. So 7-4 the final score. A tight scoreline in the end. James wins, but you saw the intensity of the game there. It could so easily have gone either way, but just hanging on doggedly to the end. James was about to concede, just with one defeat after another with the Ultramarines. He thought it would be worth packing it in. Didn't seem to have many units left. Out of position as well. Tyranids on the rampage, but James played on and stuck at it and has torn victory from the hands of the Tyranids here. They had victory in their grasp, and James has wrestled it back in spectacular fashion. But a hero, what a hero here. This sergeant has single-handedly won James the game. So an epic game here. This game's dragged on here. It's been a momentous fight, but the Ultramarines have achieved a victory, and one that will be well remembered for sure on the channel. So well done to James here. A victory thoroughly deserved, and it just shows that endurance does win wars. So great game. We've really enjoyed it here. Nice theme to this table. Do like this setup running along here in the bunkers and so on. It may be a piece of terrain that we add more features to in the future. But there it is. Great game. Keep a lookout for the Ultramarines, perhaps on the rise. James with new units to add to the army and to improve them. He's certainly learning a lot of battle experience here as he takes on different armies on the channel. So great game. Thanks for watching, and tune in next time. Right, let's just talk about units of the game. Number of ones for the Ultramarines. Definitely the tactical squads get an honourable mention. They absorb so much damage and hung around well. Their firepower is pretty good with the grav weaponry. And they were hard for the Tyranids to eradicate entirely. And indeed, combat squads here helping to secure an objective at the end of the game. But he's going to give it to the Assault Marines. Not the best performance from them, but the Sergeant helping to secure victory. Or single-handedly securing victory. Yeah, so the Sergeant specifically, who achieved victory for the Ultramarines in this game. For the Tyranids, going to give it to the Raveners. They move so quick, and they dice up Marines pretty well. So that's units of the game for both sides.